What's up, Generals, and welcome into our special Wednesday edition of the 5-Star News. I'm Brady Chandler.
And I'm Max Owens. We're joining you today because of the short week. We'll be here today and again on our regular Friday as well.
But enough explaining our schedule. Let's get into today's show, and we'll start you guys off with some announcements. We call the segment What's Up Heritage.
Welcome back to What's Up Heritage. Now, let's get on to some Wednesday announcements. Let's start off with map testing. We already finished reading on Tuesday, and on Thursday, we'll be having to do the math map testing. Hope you all do your absolute best. Next up, our Heritage Talent Show will be happening on February 1st. The price will be $3 and it will be held in the theater. And lastly, freshmen will be taking the Reality U survey on Wednesday. This will be happening on first block, and this will be used to see how far you are in life. Now, let's get over to our weatherman, Kieran Freed.
Thanks, Isaac. Now let's get into the weather. On Wednesday, there will be scattered showers with a high of 62 and a low of 60. Thursday, we'll still have some scattered showers with a high of 67 and a low of 37. Now let's get back to the anchors for more news.
Thanks, you guys, and now let's dive straight into some news.
Sounds good, and we'll start off today with some good news from our HHS seniors.
That's right, Max. Seniors, listen up, especially those who plan on attending college next year.
Yep, you guys should make plans to get down to our counseling office ASAP to find out about some nice scholarship opportunities that are available.
But if you don't feel like doing that in person, just pay close attention to this next segment from our very own news reporters Tipton Smart, Gabe Guffey, and Silas Williams. Check it out.
So seniors, now is the time that a lot of scholarships are coming about. Each of you guys can just come see your counselor. We have several local scholarship opportunities that are already out there. We have a scholarship board in our counseling office that shows so many of those opportunities from our local communities. So swing by the counseling office and talk to your counselor, and we'll get you set up with those.
Earlier in the year, I asked the counselors about some scholarships, and they told me to look on their counselor website, and I found one of some that are like the Heisman scholarships, and I applied to that one. There's a Koch scholarship. There's just so much out there.
I chose not to write any papers for any scholarships in January because I'm attending college at Brigham Young University in Utah, which means the scholarships won't apply to me. I can't carry them over out of state. So I'm not really concerned about it, and I'm just going to go through January without writing any papers.
Okay, seniors, this is our scholarship board in the counseling office. We currently have 2 paper scholarships, so those are either like they get mailed in or something like that. We have a whole list of scholarships that we're aware of right now, and those are probably done online. So you can go to our counseling office website, and under scholarships for the class of 2023, there's a whole list of scholarships. It's a great time this semester to be checking the scholarship list and coming in here and just glancing at the scholarship board to see if we have any paper copies of anything for at least, the next couple months, because that's when we get our scholarships in.
Wow, that's impressive. Thank you for that report.
Sounds pretty easy. Now for some information about our annual HHS Talent Show.
Yes, and that's always a fun event.
Yeah, I always look forward to it every year myself.
Wonder what everyone will be talking about for this year's show.
No telling, but I do know our 5-star reporters Lauren Mock and Jonathan Glover have more in this report.
I'm so excited, as I am every year, for the talent show. It's coming up February 1st, $3 admission. Some of the acts that you've seen before with some updated songs will be there. We've also got some incredible MCs, including Dylan Hodges, Gunnar Hollander, Talon Polly, and Cole Denton. They'll be introducing each act. So it's always entertaining, always great to see our kids showcase their talent. And again, it's coming up on February 1st.
I'm excited for it. I'm ready. I'm really excited for River. See what he has in store for us.
Dude, I'm looking forward to River, but Elvis last year, 10 out of 10.
Time to get a commercial break.
Yep, and make sure you check it out because it's a pretty good one about our Skills USA Ping Pong Tournament coming up next month.
Okay, but after the commercial, Mock and Glover will join us for sports.
A ton of basketball and a great weekend for our wrestlers as well. Stick around, sports is next.
Hey again, Generals. I'm Jonathan Glover.
And I'm Lauren Monk. I'm here today with sports.
We have a lot of action to get into today, Lauren, so let's get into wrestling.
You got it. Coach Kraft's squad hit the I-75 South last Friday all the way in Bainbridge, Georgia to compete in sectionals.
And guess what? The Generals wrestling team took it home and won first place.
Well, it was a long drive down there. It took us basically 7 hours to get down there, and we wrestled well. Overall, our first match, we sort of beat up on New Hampstead from out of Savannah, beat them pretty soundly, and then we moved on to Bainbridge. Bainbridge, they were pretty fired up. They basically thought that they had the match won before we ever wrestled it, and it ended up being a close match. We did have a couple things happen in there that we weren't expecting, so we had somebody lose and somebody win maybe that weren't expecting, but that happens in duels sometimes. So we ended up coming from behind, though, for a big win and qualifying to be to go on to the Elite Eight at Lovett this next weekend.
All right, so this weekend we went all the way down to Bainbridge, and it's the furthest spot away from where we stand in Georgia. I went 1-1. I was really tired. I don't think I wrestled that good, but I won my first match and I lost my second match against Bainbridge. I just got caught though. I don't know. It was kind of bad.
All right, so people that did well is Caden Taylor at 106. He went 2-0. Tate Thomas went 2-0. Drew Dietz went 2-0. Victor Johnson went 2-0. Jaden Walker went 2-0. Dax Akers went 2-0, and Evan Wingrove went 2-0. So all those guys did really well and were big parts of the win. And we had some other people who wrestled well too, but those guys were standouts.
Congrats, guys. Nice job.
To basketball now, and both our boys and girls team had a busy weekend this past weekend. They had matchups with region rival Northwest Whitfield as well as Christian Heritage.
We'll start with the recap of the girls' loss to Northwest, and then they beat up on Christian Heritage.
So Friday we had a region contest against Northwest at home. Good crowd, always a good atmosphere when we're playing Northwest. Tough game. I think we played much better in the second half, kind of fought back, cut the lead to 4 or 5 straight possessions with a chance to take the lead and never could really get the shot we wanted. I thought we played really well defensively. Still need to worry about taking care of the ball a little bit better and kind of shore that up. I think that we're getting there. I think we're valuing the basketball a little bit better. And once we do that, I think the next time we see them, we'll be in much better shape. I think that we're absolutely good enough to beat them. And I think that both the games that we play against them this year are going to be really tight. So we're going to have to learn how to execute down the stretch and do some things offensively that we've shown that we can do. And in tough games against tough opponents, you got to make those plays, and we just didn't do that Friday night. But the good news is we turned around Saturday, had another chance to redeem ourselves for a non-region game against Christian Heritage and played really well. Got a little bit of early foul trouble, but fought back with some players that came off the bench and gave some good minutes. And then once we got our starters back in the second half, we really kind of put our foot on the pedal and kind of ran them out of the gym. So I think the pressure got to them a little bit, and I think we had the advantage in the paint the entire evening.
It wasn't our best game. We really need to work on offensive stuff and kind of a little bit on defense too. It was better. It was good to have a game right after that so we could end our week with a win instead of a loss.
The girls also ripped off Southwest Whitfield last night with this knocking off the Lady Raiders with a score of 51-29.
The girls team also had some really cool spectators in the crowd last Friday against Northwest.
We sure did, Jonathan. Members from the school's very first basketball team were recognized between the girls and boys game. We caught up with some of these players after the game. Here's the report.
Sarah Brew, Hannah McKinney, Chelsea Mullinax, Amber Vaughn.
It was great. The excitement has kind of been building over the last week and a half, and been trying to reach out to everybody and get everybody else to reach out to everyone. And I was hoping, I think we had 8 people here. I was hoping, for more, but it was great. I was so excited to see them. It's been some of them 14 years since I've spoken with them, talked, or seen them, and it was great. And I'm ready to do it again next year.
We're here for the first inaugural basketball team here at Heritage, which was 15 years ago. Feels like it was yesterday, but also feels like it wasn't this lifetime. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to see everybody, and it was just such an exciting time in my life. I'm happy to celebrate it.
It just means a lot to be back, lots of memories. It's good to see the girls again, and we're excited to all get to be together one more time.
We ate, and I had the first basketball that we ever used in Heritage High School history, and which Dad signed back in the day, and we had that out. We had our first the basketball that we had our first victory with, and here in the first victory ever in the history of the school, and they had all signed that, so they some of them didn't even remember doing it, and so it was kind of special for them. And we had the scorebook and a couple of pictures, and it was a lot of sharing some memories and talking about some stuff.
The group of girls, we were really tight. Coach Bryant he had a lot on his hands. We came from the very beginning, from the bottom up, and he didn't know what he was getting into. And so I told him early, I'll never forget what he said to me, though. He said, Amber, you only get this chance one time in your life, and you're going to wish you gave it your all. And it's very true.
Spoke with them just a little while and tell them, hey, this team set the foundation. You got to have a foundation before you can build on it. And, the last 4, 5, 6 years has been really good girls basketball here. So this group started it all.
Now that was pretty cool. On to some boys basketball.
Yep, our guys team took a little time away from the basketball court last week in preparations for their big games against Northwest and Christian Heritage this weekend.
Well, they did practice last Wednesday, but they did take a trip to the bowling alley.
Lanes are a little slick.
Yeah, I just think that getting away from basketball and spending time with each other in like a different environment is always good. It's always good to get away from the court and enjoy one another's presence and just get to know each other off the basketball floor.
So we went bowling on Wednesday instead of practicing. I think all of our legs needed a break, but I think it helped with a little bit of team bonding, having us all together.
On Wednesday we went bowling, and it went all right for some people, not for myself. But I think it really helped with bonding and made us all closer. And hopefully will prepare us for this game and games to come.
The best player by far was Coach Hyatt. He bowled like a 185 or something like that. And the worst player was definitely Lennon. Lennon scored like a 30. It was terrible.
If we're determining who the best was by the score, then it was me by a wide margin. But player-wise, probably Caleb Gallman and Peyton Newman, they both bowled over 130, so pretty good.
That looks pretty fun.
Yes, and it looked like it really worked. The team went out and had one of their best games of the year last Friday against Northwest.
Sure did. Let's get a recap of that big win and their matchup with the #1 ranked Lions of Christian Heritage. Here's Coach Green with the recap.
It was a good win for us. Obviously, Northwest is always a tough opponent. The way they play and the style they play with is tough to prepare for. You really need some mature guards to handle the basketball and just get you in the right formations and in the right spacing to be able to attack them. And I thought we started a little slow, but I thought our veteran guards took over.
The team played pretty well together. I know Matt's had a big night. He scored a lot of points.
Last Friday night, they're kind of a pretty big rivalry for us, and we haven't really performed too well against them the last few years, but it was a great win for us. The guys played really hard. They're always feisty and tough to beat, and we just came out and played with a lot of intensity. I got the ball to the guys that we can score with, and I think Caleb Gallman put up a lot of points, as did Caden Swope, and we just kind of broke away from them late in the game to get a double-digit victory over them. And it's always nice to beat the Bruins.
And really controlled the pace of the game for about the last 2.5 quarters, and obviously we came away with a region victory.
Saturday didn't go as well. We played pretty good against Christian Heritage. I believe they're the #1 team in the state in their region or their classification, so they've probably been the best team we faced all year. We held with them pretty close for a half, and they kind of extended the lead in the third quarter a little bit, and we couldn't catch up. But I thought we played a pretty good game Saturday night. And then last night we go down to Southeast Whitfield and take on the Raiders, and that game was close the whole way. I think the biggest margin of the game either way was 6 points, maybe 8. But in the end, we fell a bucket short. We lost by 3, 45-42. Missed 3 3-pointers to tie it late in the game, and fell to the Raiders. So 1 and 2, I guess, on the weekend, and then yesterday. but I think we're playing pretty good right now. So we got to keep that level going as we go into Sonoraville later tonight.
Thanks for sports, you two. Nicely done as always.
Now to some entertainment. We have a couple of good features for you this week.
Our first one comes from one of Heritage's many sets of twins.
Yep, Ethan and Ian Gonzalez, 2 honor students. Their segment is called Twin and Nim, and today their topic is country music.
Welcome Heritage to the first episode of Twin and Nim. I'm Ian.
And I'm Ethan.
And today we're going to be asking Heritage your opinion on country music.
I'm Ethan Crow and I love country music. I love country music because I grew up around it. It was always enforced on me. One of my favorite singers is George Strait, greatest of all time, just all around great.
Alright, so what's your name?
I'm James.
Alright, are you a supporter of country music or do you not like it?
I like it.
Why do you like country music out of all the other musics? What defines country music? What's different about it?
Well, I think all through my life I've listened to country music in the car with my dad. And yeah, that's why I like it.
So why do you think somebody might not like country music?
Because it's new to them and, I guess they just don't like it since they're so used to rap and all that.
Alright, so what's your name?
Dea Ramsey.
And what do you think about country music?
I absolutely despise it.
Why do you hate it?
Because I get the idea that people that listen to country music like to drink alcohol at 12 in the afternoon and get like a yeehaw vibe in general from them.
So you think really just country type of people would love that music while other people just wouldn't?
Absolutely.
So an alcoholic?
Yeah.
What music do you listen to?
I like rap and hip hop.
Fire.
Now that was totally wicked. Thanks, guys.
Now, have you ever watched Cops or America's Dumbest Criminals?
Yeah, I have, and this next segment is kind of a combination of those shows with a little twist.
Hello and welcome to the Sarcastic News Network, where we talk about sarcastic news. Over to Allie.
On today's insane place of events, burglars in Florida call police on themselves to get help moving stuff out of a victim's house. According to the press, when the arrest was made, the burglars went into radio silence and deputies identified one of the burglars from a security camera from the local Dollar General, where he also stole earlier that day. So remember, next time you feel less intelligent, remember these two probably the worst burglars in history.
And finally, we're going to the end of the show with a skit called Toon Talk.
Yes, and this is by Logan Beasley, Skylar Grant, Ethan Booth, and Nolan Kaler. They catch these guys finding random students wearing band t-shirts and then asking them random questions about the band on the shirt.
No telling what this is going to look like.
Guys, today on Toon Talk, we have Caleb with his shirt.
Nirvana.
We're going to ask him some questions, see if he knows what he's wearing.
Let's do it.
So, Caleb, what's your top 3 songs by Nirvana?
Poly, Lithium, and I'm going to have to go Come As You Are on this one.
Okay. Have you ever been to a Nirvana concert?
I have not.
Would you like to?
I would.
Okay. Hey, what was the lead singer's name?
Kurt Cobain.
You know 3 facts about the band?
Their lead drummer, Dave Grohl, is now in his own band called Foo Fighters. Kurt Cobain killed himself in 2001. Chris Novoselic almost fought Duff McKagan, the bass player for Guns N' Roses.
How many number 1 hit songs did they have?
7.
7? Wrong. 5. I have one more question. What is the backup drummer's mother's maiden last name? Okay, you don't know anything. Next.
What's up, guys? It's Toon Talk back with another banger today. I'm here with Emily Freeman.
And she's wearing the Rolling Stones. We're going to ask her some questions.
What's your top 3 favorite songs by the Rolling Stones?
Are you having trouble?
No, that's just a good question.
So you don't know.
Oh, because there's like so many and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been to a concert?
It's a big no.
You haven't.
Oh, sure.
No.
Well, why are you wearing the shirt then?
Do you want to go to a concert?
Yeah.
Like really bad?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
How many hits do they have?
How many number 1 hits do they have? You don't know.
5.
Wrong. 8. You know 3 facts about the band.
No.
No. Not
No.
even one fact?
No.
What's the lead
Oh, so
singer's
why are
name?
you even wearing the shirt? Okay. Okay.
What's the lead singer's name?
That's a good question.
Do you know?
No.
You don't know?
No.
It's Keith Richards and Mick Jagger.
Sounds like you
Okay,
didn't really
so you
know
don't know
any of
anything. All right.
Toon Talk. We'll catch you on the next news. We are out.
And with that, we'll wrap up your Wednesday edition of the 5-Star News.
We'll be back again on Friday with brand new reports. So until then,
Stay classy, Heritage.